Hey guys, welcome to another At Home with GKR Motor Cars. As you can see, we got the sign up finally. It's such a huge deal here. Kind of makes it feel super real. Things are really happening here. And as you'll see here in this episode, there's a lot going on in the shop. So let's go. All right, so let's see what's going on in here. So when you have a table machine, you kind of get a little carried away with making all kinds of metal signs, and there's our hours and everything. So coming in here, the shop is kind of doing double duty until we get another shop built for our farm stuff that we do. We do a little farming here, but that's kind of on the side. Grew up doing that. We've got a baler and a tractor in here that I know I've kind of hinted to before, but Viper, all done. Underneath its winter coat, and as you can see here, we've got a bunch of the Bronco stuff that's been sandblasted. It's all cleaned up, seeing what we're dealing with on the metal work. Same with the frame here. It's cleaned up pretty well. A few spots I got to fix. We're going all new suspension and you know, brakes, all that good stuff. So I'll be working on that here pretty soon, getting this cleaned up and painted. And this thing will be, you know, clean enough to eat off of here in the next month or so. So that's kind of where the Bronco is as far as the frame. So here's the Bronco. You can kind of see it's in a bunch of pieces, just like the other one, or the other pieces out there with the sandblaster. We had them out a couple weeks ago, and there's just a lot going on here. You know, you always find more rust than you're expecting, but this was all rusted out here. Had to build a whole new piece here because I couldn't find this piece online anywhere. Just a bunch of stuff that's kind of hit or miss on what you can find as far as, you know, parts. Luckily, I found that inner fender and the inner quarter panel here, brand new parts for that. That'll make life a lot easier because, you know, it'd take me a while to make this stuff. And the inner fender, I don't even know if I have the right tools to make it, but kind of just mocking it up right now. And if you can see over here, these early Broncos, they had two gas tanks originally, a main and an auxiliary. And what we're going to do is we're going to fabricate a piece of metal right here, and you will never know if this had two spots for a gas tank, and it'll just make it look a lot cleaner. We're going to one bigger gas tank in the back. That's what will go right there. And essentially, it'll just make this body panel look a lot cleaner, and you know, kind of make the truck just, you know, take it on the next level, make it look like it was really done right. Because, you know, that's obviously what we do here. You saw in the Show Your Work episode how I put this in, and, you know, one thing here is this comes down on a hinge here. And if you look down through there, you can kind of see we lined everything up. It's attached by bolts. Luckily, no rust from the welds in there. It's going to be all primed and cleaned up pretty nicely, and you can always take that on or off however much you want if you want to. And then from here, the front, waiting on an inner fender, was on back order for the passenger side. As you can see, there's no fender over there, or inner fender over there. So once I get that, I'll be able to start putting this whole front end back together. And then we'll be ready to start doing some paint work and putting it back together. So if you remember from one of my previous Show Your Work episodes, I built this body cart here, and not only did it prevent the bowing once I took it off the frame, but what it does here is it allows us to line up this new bracket back here. This entire bracket was kind of rusted in and out previously, so we got a new one, put it on here, and with the shims that I have underneath there, I was able to replicate the same amount of shims and space this exactly where it needs to be. So now, as you can see, everything lined up, and I did no measuring here. You know, this I put on right where it needs to be with this body cart, and things lined up perfectly. So, you know, big time saver there. All right, so we're gonna go jump in the truck. We're actually gonna go look at a factory 5 GTM. I don't know if you've heard of those, but they're a pretty cool car. They're mid-engine setup, kit car from Factory 5, and I've always loved their lines and just kind of overall design and engineering. But we're going to take a look at it at a local guy here and see if it's something we want to purchase for our next project. All right, let's see if they're home. Just knock on both.
Yeah, knock on both doors.
See which one gets answered.
Yeah,
What's up, sir?
me.
Snuck past you?
I didn't see you come in.
It's sneaky. I thought about bringing the trailer, but with the rain, I was just worried. I was like, I know it's going to start raining as soon as.
I think they're called for about 12:30 on the rain.
I never actually saw underneath. I saw a guy take a Tesla drive unit and cut out a bunch of stuff. That was like over a year ago.
Yeah.
I've never seen any more on his channel, so I don't know if he gave up, but he cut a bunch of the frame out to get the Tesla drive motor in there, and that was the last I've seen. So
Is the drive motor attached to the wheel?
yeah, so it's just got it's direct drive. There's no transmission on it. It's just got your 2 independent axles. Just attaches right to the wheel.
Is that guy from Missouri?
No, I don't think so.
There's a guy somewhat local in Missouri somewhere that's doing a electric powered GTM.
Yeah.
Brother's done some work with him.
I was gonna say, we were talking, and I've seen people talk about it or start on it, but I haven't seen a finished electric GTM yet. And then the guy I've been talking to down in Austin, Texas, at Moment Motors, he said he passed on one because of the bird cage frame. He's like, it was just he's like, I just didn't want to try to figure out 16 batteries. Because I wonder like how far out this, that sticks. What I've seen is it comes out a little bit up here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could at least put 6 up front. Is the, how many pieces is that body? Is it 2?
One piece.
One piece?
One piece, and then you got your hood, your hatch, and the doors. But the basic body is one piece.
Is it? Are we able to pick it up with like 4 people to like each corner? Because that's how like the
It's
Cobra. I was like, one person in each fender, pick it up because I don't want it to bow.
It still has the boards and everything.
Oh,
in
okay,
it,
cool,
so-
perfect. And yeah, you said this was like the nicer suspension. He went with all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, I don't think he marked about every box on it.
Cool.
But it has the commerds and stuff below the door. It has the big tall wing. I think it is for the back, wasn't it?
Yeah, cool.
He bought the upgraded cage and steering wheel seat.
Yeah. So that's just a fill-in steering wheel, like there was like actual GTM steering wheel, or is
Yeah,
that?
yeah, it's got a whole different steering wheel.
Oh, cool.
Oh, there's the whole garage full of stuff.
Yeah. Alrighty.
And he bagged and tagged and labeled.
Well, I saw that was one thing I noticed when I saw this the first time, was all the writing on there, and I was like, that's somebody that's
Yeah.
meticulous in what they're doing.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even labeled like the steering wheel quick disconnects. You'd think you could look at it and know what it is.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Still labeled it.
Well, I took the Bronco apart that we're working on, that customer Bronco, and I was like, none of it was very technical sounding. It was like bolts under dash thingy, that kind of stuff. And it's one of those things, like, I know what it means because I'm the one working on it, but I bagged and tagged everything just to make sure, because it's like, you have fun taking stuff apart like that, and then, 2 months later when you're putting it back together after rebuilding it, you're like, oh crap.
Well, he even bought an extra manual. The manuals are that thick.
Oh,
We
great.
went in there and grabbed that manual.
Great. Do some studying. Cool. It's crazy how low it is. When it was on the ground, when we walked in the other day, I was like, gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to drive this.
You just lay down.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's the getting out part. That's
Yeah.
They had one at Mecum a couple of years ago in Florida. And he spent about half a day in and out,
It was all in the back, so nobody was there, so I just
Yeah.
sat there and practiced. But it didn't have the steering wheel come off, so that kind of made it.
Oh, yeah.
a pain in the ass.
And that's what I did with the Cobra that we've got. I had it to where it came off. But the nice thing with these is like you get around some of the restrictions as far as like building, safety stuff, you know. You're not required airbags and this and that, so.
Have you sat in those Lotus Elises?
I've not been in an Elise.
Even worse, because you got to step over a spot about that wide
Yeah.
by the time you get in.
Yeah, some of those cars, they have that little tiny door to get in, and because you've got that big bulkhead to get over.
I had one at Kansas City, and I'm watching all these 250-pound men bidding on it. I'm like, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah,
You can't even get this thing out of this
And it's not like it's like one of those high-end collector cars. It's an Elise. I mean, well, yeah, I'll grab that check, get that to you, so you have it. It's one of these things you buy one and then you're excited to jump on it, but you got everything else in front of it. Well, I appreciate you guys selling it to me.
It's like a good way to spend about $2,000.
Yep. Well, that was another thing, was a lot of the work, you know, has been started on it. I don't know how much, you know, it came with, but I mean, it had the pedals in it and everything. I mean, that's, got a lot of that kind of stuff, you know, it just takes time. It's easy work, especially on a brand new body that you're not like the Bronco. Well, I'm excited for this. This will be fun. And what I'm gonna do a lot of it too is, one of the big reasons is to kind of study the frame for like my dream of having that production car, kit car, and to where I can build it around the battery packs rather than
I thought it'd be easy to just leave the body off of it.
Oh yeah. Which you never know. That's what these things are for. Have fun with, not just driving, building and designing. We'll be in touch next week to come pick it up and
That'll work.
go from there. Thanks, guys. All right, so that's kind of what's going on here at GKR. A little piece of my world right now. Until the next one, you know, enjoy some show your work and the unboxing that we'll have, because there's lots more parts coming, especially for the Bronco. It's moving right along, and you know, we'll get more EV goodies as time goes on with this Lotus. But thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time to check this out, and we'll see you soon.